Hey listeners, Katie here. So if you have traveled back in time and have found the first season of our podcast when we were known as Bad Boss Detox, then congratulations, because you figured out time travel. But also you're going to get to hear our first attempt at podcasting when Ivy and I were just baby podcasters recovering from our transitions out of toxic work. So please enjoy the podcast formerly known as Bad Boss Detox. Thanks for listening. Hey listeners, Katie here. So at the end of the last episode, we told you we were going to be posting our toxic productivity episode this week, but something happened to it. The audio got messed up, and I don't know if it's going to be salvageable. We're working on it, but instead, we have a fun surprise. It's our tangents episode. So you're about to hear 40 to 50 minutes of all of our tangents from the past first half of this season. And these are really fun. I enjoyed getting to save them and share them with you guys. So here you go. So listeners, we're going to do this new thing this season. We're going to do this new thing where we save all of our massive tangents and we put them in a full episode by themselves, which is going to be a bonus episode that you can listen to. We're going to do the first one probably free, and then the next ones we're going to put on our Patreon, I guess, and you get to listen to all of it. So if you love us that much, then you can listen to our Patreon and get every second of the beautiful creature that is Ivy and the fascinating specimen that is me. And there you go. So that'll probably end up in the tangent episode.
Did I ever tell you about the time that my dad's neighbor told him that I kissed a boy?
What? What?
And my dad had the same reaction. He was like, I could not understand why Jim kept saying, John, she kissed a boy. There was a boy in your driveway and she kissed him. And my dad was like, what the? I don't understand. Okay.
Yeah.
She's a teenage girl. The guy was black.
Uh-huh. Oh, so he was saying boy in a derogatory way.
Yeah.
See, that's fucking weird.
Yeah. And my whole family was like, it took my dad forever for the light bulb to go off in his head and be like, oh, he thought he was tattling.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he was telling me something that I would care about. And my dad was like, but I don't care. You know? Like,
and
was she naked? Like what? Who cares? She was kissing a boy. Yes.
Wild.
I know.
I don't know how you could be unfamiliar. Are you unfamiliar, Ivy? Do you know?
I am 100% unfamiliar.
Well, let me fill you in. Okay, so the United States, in this past Winter Olympics, they had this skater called Ilya Malinin, who was like 21, 22 years old or something. And he's...
And that was a male?
Yes.
A boy,
Yes. He was known as the quad god because he does quadruple jumps, which are sort of like psychotically difficult. And he's one of the only human beings in the world that does them as many as he does them, as frequently and as easily as he does them. He was doing really, really well in the competition. He was the one that bolstered up the American team score so that the American figure skating team won a gold medal, mostly because of Ilya Malinin's like amazing score in that competition. When it got to the men's figure skating, though, he choked dramatically. Like unprecedented chokage. And it was like he just got overconfident and he got like the yips, you know? Did not.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, bless. And he seemed like a good kid. It wasn't that he was like an overconfident asshole or anything. He just got in his head about it and he made a mistake early in the program and never could come back, you know?
Yeah.
So that was really disappointing. But He's gonna be back, and he's young, he's got talent, he's awesome.
He's young.
But the one that blew me away with their talent so much was Alyssa Liu. And Alyssa Liu was, she was a big deal in figure skating when she was like 16 years old. She quit figure skating and walked away from it because she had been doing this since she was like a child and had no childhood. Figure skating was her entire life. It controlled everything, every aspect of her life, what she could eat, what she could do, how much she could train, and
Isn't that common with Olympic athletes?
Very common with Olympic athletes, and I think in particular with women's figure skaters because you have to be a certain weight. And it's does not behoove you to be a different body type and those things. Okay, but wait. This is what makes Alyssa Liu amazing, okay? She quit at 16. She decided to come back and go through the whole Olympic thing now that she's like 22 or something. She's still real young. Okay. But she went away from skating and came back and she was like, look, I'm going to do this on my own terms. I'm not going to starve myself. I'm going to eat what I need to eat. I'm going to train when I need to train. And if I'm tired, I'm taking a break. I'm going to choose my own music. I'm going to choose my own choreography. And I'm going to do it for the love of doing it, for fun, because I enjoy it and want to perform. And I saw her, I recognized Tara Lipinski immediately because I watched figure skating. And so I was like, oh my God, it's Tara Lipinski. And Sean was like, who? And I was like, she'll explain it.
Well, Johnny was quite interesting. I had never seen him before.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with him.
His look was striking at first. It was like, whoa, he's a bit much,
Well, so is Alan Cumming.
Different much.
But different much, yeah.
Different much. Alan is my guy. I wish that I could get him to hook up with John. I think they would like each other so very much. But Johnny, no, it's just his skin is so shiny and smooth and like it's just like whoa when you first see him. But then I got used to him. His fashion sense, not my style. I don't like most of what he was wearing. It just didn't look comfortable, but it was so him.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
What, you didn't have a VCR?
No, I didn't have a TiVo to tell it when to record, A VCR. What's that? What's that mean?
Well, kids.
Anyway,
when I was a girl.
Yeah. Well, I think that
video cassette recorder, or VCR for short. And if you weren't going to be home for your program, you could ask your mom to stick a tape in the VCR and hit record. And then later, they made it to where you actually could use this handheld device to enter the time you needed something to be recorded.
How it worked.
And it could record it, then you could come back. And then you could record your son performing the entire album of NSYNC, the one that had Bye 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 on it.
Yeah.
And you could put it on one of those VCR tapes where he recorded the whole thing like he was one of them. And then your husband one day comes home and thinks, oh shit, Mama's out of town and she's going to miss her show. And he takes that tape and he sticks it in the VCR and he hits record and he records over your baby in his diaper singing Bye 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 with reruns.
Okay.
That's what a VCR is, my friends.
Thank you.
The chick that retired and came back on the ski slope and then she broke her knee everybody was making everybody think, I thought she died. I was like, what is going on? I thought she died. And then when I watched it, I was like, wait a second, she just hurt her knee. Why is the whole world talking about she died?
They were considering amputation at a certain point on her
Still
life.
Not dead.
Yeah, she didn't die, but she was injured real
I thought
bad.
The way that people were talking about it was I thought that people watched this woman die.
It was very hard to watch.
Well, the last pope, my parents, who, whatever they are, Catholic, well, they weren't Catholic because my mother grew up Catholic, and then she told me my whole childhood that Catholicism is a cult, and they left the Catholic Church and were evangelical Christian, whatever's, my whole life. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I was a grown woman with grown children, and they were like, hey, we're going to be Catholic again. And in the Catholic Church, we're not actually married. So my parents both had to seek out their former spouses from before they met and try to get their marriages annulled. My mom's first husband did answer and did say, sure, we can annul that 55-year-old marriage. But my dad could not find his first wife. And so the church, the Catholic Church, said, well, that's okay. You tried. So they let my parents get married in the Catholic Church after they had been married for 40 years.
What? Okay. I have questions, but they're not really relevant, I guess.
Well, so my parents
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
so you're a bastard is what you're telling me?
Me? No, I'm actually a Catholic because apparently my mom had me baptized in the Catholic Church when I was born.
Oh, okay.
And so she one day said, ha, 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 Ivy, you're a Catholic, and sent me my baptism
But you
certificate.
you didn't go to confirmation.
Apparently, it doesn't matter. I got baptized in the Catholic Church, and so ha, 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 Ivy, you're a Catholic too. Boo, 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 boo.
Okay.
That's what she was like, nanny, nanny, boo, boo, you're a Catholic.
Wow. Thanks, Mom. Wow. Okay, well. That is going to get me so canceled.
I thought that your lesson was going to be that Michelangelo didn't actually paint Jesus, but his lover, and now everyone in America thinks that white Jesus with the six-pack is Jesus, but really he's Michelangelo's lover.
Michelangelo was possibly the gayest man of all time.
Yeah, and his lover was hot as shit, and that's who people think is Jesus.
And I think it's really funny that Michelangelo, when he painted women, he painted them with just fully buff male physiques with just like little titties tacked on.
I don't even know that.
That's going in the tangent episode. Anyways, okay.
So some genes, like we said, stay dormant when they're dormant when we're born, and they activate based on our environment. This is one way that we adapt to our environment and survive. This blew my mind. This is the epigenetic thing. Our ancestors who had trauma developed the genes, and they are passed down for, like we said, 4 generations. They sit dormant unless we need them. And this made me wonder about dogs. And so I looked it up. If that same thing happens to dogs who experience trauma, and the internet said yes.
I bet it would,
It said that, dogs experience the same thing. They have genes that are dormant in them. And I had a dog that went crazy.
Yeah.
And I'll bet that because we said something happened in our backyard, something happened while we were away, something happened because he was fine one day and the next day he wanted to kill everyone. No. So I feel like that's what happened, that something woke up in him because of something that happened, and it changed him.
He became a werewolf.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Wild. We then pass these genes on to our offspring in order to prepare them for possible traumatic events. And this is maybe to me why I freeze when my anxiety takes over. You know, it feels like, especially with heights, it feels like someone is physically holding me still in a spot and like I cannot move at all. It's crazy.
My husband is
just went off.
somewhat afraid of heights, but he won't admit it. I am afraid of heights in a way that I like. I enjoy certain fears, and that's one of the fears that I enjoy. It's the adrenaline of it.
Gotcha.
My oldest son, it's almost like he loves his fear of heights so much that he wants everyone to know. But he'll go to high places like with his daughter, and it's funny because like his fiance, girlfriend, whatever she is, his baby mama will be like videoing him, and she's laughing, he's terrified, and Daphne is going, "It's okay, Daddy. It's okay, Daddy." Like
That's really
he
cute.
likes it. I think he plays it up a little bit.
And the same thing happens to me when I am in a cave, but I don't have like a generational pinpoint on why that is. But I am very afraid of caves as
Wow.
well. And like I had tried to conquer that fear at one time and like went with my boyfriend at the time who was a skilled caver. Like he knew what he was doing in caves, and he was athletic, strong,
spelunker?
smart
Isn't
guy.
that the word,
He was
spelunker?
a spelunker. Yeah, that was one of his hobbies. He and his brother, so it wasn't even just the two of us. But I got to a certain point in the cave, and my body refused to take another step.
Wow.
Like I could not make myself move.
I love a cave and a waterfall and a mountain climb.
See, and I do too. And I wanted to experience it, which is why I was like trying to conquer this fear. And my body was just like, bitch, we ain't doing it. And the fear response was like my stomach was about to just drop out of my body. And when we got out of the cave, I was like physically ill for several hours, like sick to my stomach in the bathroom, like for several hours, because
Wow.
my body was just like so
Yeah.
keyed up and afraid and whatever.
And there was a bed bug incident, which is
Oh,
partly why we have a scorched earth policy when it comes to them. And yeah, they're going to die if they come across my path, because quick story, we stayed at a hotel one night, and turns out the hotel had bed bugs. Didn't know it. So when I got up at like 7 a.m, we were on vacation, so that was a little early, and I looked down, and I see all these little brown specks moving on the sheet, the white sheet, and I go, I'm half asleep. That's kind of weird. What is it? And then I start at the top of my lungs yelling at my wife, "Get out of the bed! Get out of the bed!" She jumps up. What the fuck is going on? And there's bed bugs. I actually filled up a Dixie cup with bed bugs, and I took it down to the front desk. And I said, "Okay, the fuck?" And the response I got was, "Well, we wouldn't have put you in the room if we knew we were there." What?
Look, if you got bed bugs in one room in your hotel, it's the whole damn hotel. That's how it goes.
We boogied out of there.
Yeah.
By day 2, my arms, legs, back, part of my chest, and my face were showing bites. By day 3, they had swollen. By day 4, I ended up in the ER. And they stopped counting after like 300 bites, I think.
Ew,
Holy
Mike!
fuck.
Trigger warning. What the
Oh,
fuck?
sorry.
He just
That-
showed us
Golly.
a photo of his arm
Golly Jesus! I'm
eaten
just
alive
a
by bed
girl.
bugs.
I
That
don't
was
want to see that.
okay. Do you want another one? Because I got one on my
No.
face.
No.
That
No,
was
wow.
an
No.
example of what they did to me, though. So I feel like they fired the first shot on this one.
Oh,
They did. They deserve to
absolutely.
die. I am not in the camp of saving the bed bugs, the mosquitoes, or any deadly venomous bugs. Bed bugs, mosquitoes, roaches, and ants, they can go. The ants outside are fine.
Yeah.
But inside, they're a no-go.
Ooh, question.
Yeah.
What's your stance on fire ants?
Fuck them.
Okay,
Get outta here.
fire ants, if they're leaving me alone and they're outside, I'm not going to go hunt them out to kill them. I did not enjoy the fire ants that bit my son. That was not fun when he was a child. I don't want them to come in the house, but I've never seen fire ants in my mom's house. We don't have fire ants here in Nashville. But you're
Are you
looking
sure?
like
Because,
we do. You got
yeah,
some
we
fire
definitely
ants?
we definitely had them in Nolansville,
I've never seen them
right down the
here.
road.
If you want, I could. Right outside my house, there's at least 3 fire ant hills.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You're not safe.
No, I've never seen them here. I've only seen them at my mom's in Florida.
Yeah. They do kind of like a more of a grassy area. Like you're probably not going to find them in the middle of the city, But if you have a yard,
I live in Nashville proper. I don't live outside of, so I guess that's why we don't have them here. I thought they lived in sand.
No. I got a dirt/clay yard, and every year they're in my yard.
Wow.
At least
Okay,
2-3
no, I didn't
anthills.
know that. No, I mean, like I said, the bugs that can hurt you, the bugs that can harm you, they can go.
yeah. All right.
It's like spiders eat mosquitoes. That's all I got to say. I love a spider.
I mean, a spider has a purpose that I accept. I just do not want a spider in my shower. One time I took the towel off of my little rack to dry after my shower, and there was a spider on it, and then it was on me, and that is the end of spiders being allowed to be in my shower. Can you tell Ivy and I have had some interesting relationships with our mothers?
I mean,
We have an ongoing, interesting relationship with our mothers.
I was starting to get an idea of what was going on there, and I could relate because I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and we're your parents.
I'm the parent, you're the child.
And I don't care if you don't like what I'm telling you. This is what you're going to do. And for me, anyway, I look back on it and go, man, I hated it at the time. And as an adult, even in my 20s, I realized I'm so glad that I got that structure the way I did. Right or wrong, good or bad, however I wanted to look at it, it made me into a good man, a good human being. I had respect. I have a love for my fellow man and for doing the right thing, if you will. So there's a level of personal responsibility that I have. And I think that's important because for some people, they don't have a level of personal responsibility. So now it's much more difficult for them to take ownership of their part in a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
They don't even, it's the, am I the villain thing again? Because they don't know. So I get what you're saying though about it's my way or the highway.
Well, when I was a kid, there was two things that I heard a lot from my parents that my kids never heard from me. And that is, I'm the parent, you're the child. That's why. Okay. And the other one is, I don't have to respect you. I'm your parent.
Yeah. I think there's a way to do like you're saying, Mike, which is like, this is how it's going to be. There's a way to like lay down the law and explain like the reason I'm asking you to do this is because I want to keep you safe. Or the reason just, there's a way to explain it to a kid so that they may be mad at you in the moment, but they know where you're coming from, at least.
You know, when I was a little kid, I was pitching a fit about something. I was mad about the discipline I was getting. And my dad sat me down and I'll never forget it. He said, you need to understand something here right now. I'm your dad. I'm not your friend. There will come a day when I am your friend. But it ain't today because I have to prepare you for the world. Not prepare the world for you.
From, yeah.
And he explained it to me and he says, you're going to get in trouble and I'm going to tell you things and there's reasons why. And you may not understand all of them right now, but there will come a day, there I said but, that you will understand what I'm teaching you. And I did get that. I mean, I did get to that point where I went, oh shit, that's what he meant, so I do appreciate the knowledge that I was given.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good. I'm bad at the dishwasher. Sean has to have manager sign off before we start the dishwasher because he says every time I load it wrong and he has OCD and I'm like, okay, honey, you can just be in charge of that.
Wow, then he can be in. Yeah,
Exactly.
You know what?
I was like, okay, that's your job. That's fine.
My mother tells me that I load and unload her dishwasher wrong every single time. She can't do it right. And you know what? Another thing that I do on purpose to be entirely not like my mother. If one of my kids or my husband put something in the dishwasher wrong, you know what? They did a great job because they got it into the dishwasher.
Right? I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. I lived for 12 years on my own in a house that did not have a dishwasher, so I just hand washed everything and I lived just fine. And
oh, yes, yeah.
Sean expects things that go in the dishwasher to be basically just hand washed first. And I'm like, if I'm going to do that, I might as well just dry it and put it away. Calm down. But I love it.
Yeah, no, that's, again, my mother soaks her dishes before putting them in the dishwasher. And I'm like, you're lucky if I rinse it underwater. I'll scrape that shit into the trash can and stick that plate directly into the dishwasher.
Oh, my God.
I don't care. But my kids, this icebreaker is not about dishwashers.
No, it's not. It's a great tangent, though. It's going in the tangent
my
episode.
kids told my mom, we were out of town. And when we came back, the dishwasher was sudsy water all over the floor.
Oh, no.
And we were like, what's happening here? And the repairman pulled a half of a burger out of the dishwasher. My kids told my mom that we got such a fancy dishwasher that it had a garbage disposal in it. And she was like, where did you get a dishwasher with a garbage disposal? And I was like, I didn't. My kids made that shit up, and then they put their whole ass plate in the dishwasher with food on
Little shits. I love it. I was pissed that they did not have a water bottle refiller in the DC airport where I was recently. And instead, they expected you to pay like $7 for a bottle of water. And I was like, fuck you, I'll just be dehydrated.
They didn't have any water fountains?
No! None that I saw. And I also...
Well, that's weird.
I mean, another tangent for another time. But the TSA fucked me over at that airport. I'll tell you that later.
At DC?
At DC. They were so stupid. They fucked me up. And then when I got through the line, there was, two directions I could go, none of which were marked, and I went the wrong way and somehow had to go back through the fucking security line again, even though I walked past a human being that saw me come from the other direction. I was like, I'm going to murder someone.
Yeah, those human beings don't give a fuck
they
about
don't.
us. But I also did not realize this until a few years ago. I was going to my mom's and I was on a late flight. So it was like nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
This is hilarious. It might go on your tangent reel.
We're building up the tangent reel. Let's go.
So the water bottle is in my bag where it always is, closed, of course, because I didn't know this. I'm wearing a tiny little dress and a little zip-up sweatshirt. It's summer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like July. I accidentally ate a whole gummy instead of a half a gummy. And
I know where
then
this is going now.
the flight attendants came on. Luckily, there was no one in the middle seat, but there was a woman on the end. The flight attendants came on and they were like, yeah, we're going to have a hella storm. And so you're not getting anything to drink. The pilot said we can't get up. So you can't get up, so no one gets to go to the bathroom, but enjoy the show because there's going to be a beautiful light show outside, which there was. It was unbelievable.
Was there a lot of turbulence? Was it scary?
It was a terrifying flight.
Oh my God,
there was a little boy in
croaked.
front of me who was having the time of his life. He was about 7 years old, and he was yee-hawing the whole time. He was having the best time.
That might have helped me feel better.
It did. I was freezing to death,
Yeah.
okay? I couldn't get the blower to turn off. All three of them, it was like we're all blowing on my bare legs. I reached down to open my emergency water, and it came like a damn reverse waterfall up out of the bottle, into my face, down my dress,
Oh my God.
through my legs, all over me. And the woman at the end saw the whole thing, right? Mind you, I'm stoned out of my mind. And I'm sitting there, soaking wet, freezing cold, can't get up, can't do anything.
Sounds so miserable, and I'm sorry for
She's
snorting.
got this blanket, and she's like, come here, share my blanket.
Aw.
So I moved over into the middle seat. She used to cremate pets. It was her job.
Oh,
We had a very
wow.
interesting conversation.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful light show out the window, cozy blanket. It was fabulous. Got to my mom's. She called my son a raging liberal, and that was it.
You shouldn't have even gone.
I just got up, and that's the time. That's the time that my mother goes, "Oh, you don't like school shootings? Well, what about abortion?"
God.
And I got up and left. And I was
You better
high.
hope that I never meet your mom in person because I will just ruin her life.
She's sucks.
So yeah, tell me about getting in a fight with a security guard, please.
Oh my God. This has been like I seriously have had anxiety since this happened. So,
Really?
I had to go pick up my son and his
Yeah.
family from the airport instead of coming with you to the meeting.
Yeah.
My husband waited until the very last minute to go, well, I could go get him. And I was like,
Of course.
it's too late.
Yeah.
So it was a madhouse. Like the departures lane at the airport was empty and the arrivals lane was backed up forever. And they had checked bags. Obviously, they were 3 people on vacation for a week. So while I was in that line, he texted me, we're almost to baggage claim. We're at baggage claim. Okay, now we're outside at number 14, and I'm still like way far back.
Oh,
so I was like,
man.
all right, I'm getting there. No big deal. Right. Weather was nice. Not a problem. So I get to them. They're at the second to last thing of pickup number thingy. And I'm about to, somebody's pulling out. They're standing there. Daphne's going like this, kitty, kitty, kitty. Like they can see me. I can see them.
Yeah.
The car that's sitting in front of them is about to pull out. I'm going to pull in to where that car was, right? And then this security guard steps in front of my car, blows her whistle, and tells me to go around. And I was like, my kids are right there. My windows were not down, but I said to her, my kids are right there. She blew the whistle again and pointed around again. She's not saying anything, okay?
Yeah, she's
so
just blowing a
again,
whistle.
right. So 3 times I said, my kids are right there. My kids are right there. And all 3 times she just blew the whistle and waved her arm. So I, being the fiery redheaded Gen X person that I am, said fucking shit or fucking piss or something. I flipped her off and I drove around the cars and found a spot and waved them down to me.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of the car to go help them. And this bitch left her spot, walked all the way down to go, what did you just call me? I said, I didn't call you anything. She goes, I saw your mouth say fuck. And I said, I could say whatever I want. And she was like, oh, you
Fucking country
can?
for now.
And then, okay, freedom of speech, sure, but there are consequences for freedom of speech. And I don't know what the status of the people who are in the parking garage is. Like, are they TSA? Are they security?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really care. All I did was flip her off. I didn't punch her.
Yeah.
So about that time, she's arguing with me. And I'm like, I'm not here to argue with you. I'm going to go hug my granddaughter. Orion walks up and he was like, this is not something to argue about. And I looked at her and I said, yeah, I'm going to go hug my granddaughter. Bye.
Yeah.
And I walked over and I hugged my granddaughter. She disappeared. I never saw her again. But last night, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh my God, what if she thinks I called her a racial slur? What if that's why she
Yeah.
came up to me?
Yeah.
Because I'm white. She's not. I didn't call her anything. I said
Yeah.
fucking shit or fucking piss or fuck this or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't call her anything. And I wasn't looking at her when I said those words. I was looking at where I was driving and flipping her off. Girl, I almost called the airport this morning to say I was sorry.
Yeah.
Like I don't care that I flipped her off. But I care that she thinks that I might have called her something.
Oh, I
Because
hear
I
that.
said, I didn't call you anything.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say whatever I want.
Yeah.
And of course, my brain starts spinning.
You
She
start
probably
analyzing
hasn't
it.
thought of it again.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
so,
that's hard. I would have been frustrated
Well-
too. And they don't give a shit. Like, they just want to keep the line moving. And it's
Well,
like, if your
she
person
said-
doesn't teleport into the car, then they make
She
you go
goes-
faster.
she goes, I was trying to give you this spot. And I was like, you could have said that.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't say anything to me. You just kept blowing that fucking whistle at me.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I know.
Well, that sucks. But I'm glad everybody got home safe and that you didn't punch her, even though she might have kind of deserved it.
I'm not a puncher.
She probably deserved to be flipped off.
But she, like I said, the flipping off is not the part that I'm sorry about. The part that I'm sorry about is not even something to be sorry about because I didn't do it.
Yeah, but the
she-
perceived, yeah,
Yeah, I was even in the mirror last night. I said fucking piss and fucking shit in the mirror last night to try to figure out what it could have looked like I said.
And she might have thought you said fucking bitch.
Maybe.
Which is still not nice, you know?
Right. I called her nothing. I did not call her anything. I was just like fucking shit or
cussing.
fuck this shit or something.
Right.
I would just cuss because I am Ivy.
You're being
and
authentic.
I curse.
Can I tell you about my experience with the TSA recently while we're on this
Yeah,
tangent?
because you started to tell me.
Okay.
You said they screwed you over on the way back
They
from...
majorly fucked me over in the D.C. airport. I want y'all to know this happened in Appleton. Okay, the D.C. airport was a fucking
What is
nightmare.
Appleton?
Oh, it's an internet meme. So there was this lady...
Oh.
This lady who went to Bath and Body Works in Appleton, Wisconsin, and tried to get her candles and like had a fucking Karen fit over it because they didn't have her peach bellinis or whatever. But
she said, "I want you to know this happened in Appleton.
I want you to know this happened in Appleton." Like she wants to call out these people specifically. So I didn't have my real ID because they mailed it to me and it got to my house the day that I was flying. So I was like, "Fuck."
Of course.
But I did pay the $40 stupid to not have to worry about it. So I had that email. I pulled that up when I got up to the line in DC. Again, no problem whatsoever in Nashville. Nashville had their shit together. Nobody hassled me. They were like, oh, okay, fine. This airport in DC, they made me show the thing. They made me pull out the paper ID that I had. And I was like, I have this, but I also have my plastic ID that it has the wrong address, but it's not the real ID, but it's a real... You know, it is a legitimate ID, not the paper one. So I showed them both. They took my plastic ID. They pulled me out of line and said, we have to swab your hands for explosives. And I was like, okay, whatever. Fine, go ahead. They swabbed my hands. It came up positive. And I was like, what the fuck? Why? What is this? I've never even seen fucking explosives. What are you fucking talking about?
It came up, and they told you it was for explosives?
Yeah, well,
because when they swab my hand, they say it's for lots of things.
They said, we have to check you for explosives.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, that's fine. I just went...
Fun.
Listen, I have a lot of respect for anybody that works with the public like that. TSA agents, y'all deal with the worst of humanity all fucking day. So
all fucking day long. Yes.
All day. I try to be as polite as I possibly can because I don't want to be a problem. But I also am very anxious and I need to get to my fucking plane, you know?
Same.
So they pulled me out. I tested positive. God knows why. They were like, okay, well, we have to check all your luggage now and we have to go through this whole rigmarole of doing it. And I was like, whatever, I guess I'm here 2 hours early, so go for it. You know, I don't have anything, so I don't really care, right? So they went through my stuff, checked it all came up negative. The lady was like, all right, have a nice day, went on. The way that their airport is situated, when you go out of security for TSA, you can either go right and go to the terminals, or you can go left and go back through security.
Yeah, you did tell me this
what
part.
I did by accident because nothing's labeled. And I went past another group of guards who saw me come from the other direction and would not let me turn around. So I had to go back fucking through security again. If I had not done that, I would have been even more screwed, it turns out. Because when I went back through security again, I realized I didn't have my driver's license anymore.
They had kept it.
It was not there. They had kept it. They never handed it back to me. And so I was like freaking out, trying not to panic.
They would have called you. There would have been an announcement for Katie Booth.
Well, right. I said like, what's the protocol if it's lost? Because I had it 5 fucking minutes ago when I went through the line before, because your airport's laid out like a fucking maze. And they were like, well, you don't know. No, it would go to lost and found. I'm like, it's been literally like 2 minutes. Someone here still has
it. Was there not a
sign? There was no.
When you went back through, there was no sign. Like in Nashville, there's a sign, because this happened to me once too. But now there's a sign. But okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they put one up because I was a bitch, but if they did, great. I'm glad I was a bitch. Because that happens all the time, is what one of them said to me. And I was like, then why have you not done anything to prevent it?
Then there needs to be a sign.
Yeah. So anyway.
No re-entry.
Exactly. Well, like once I got past the point that I couldn't turn around, there was a sign that said no re-entry. But like, what's the fucking point then? You know? Anyways,
the sign
you
was
come out
after
and you're
you
looking,
couldn't turn around?
Yeah. You come out, you're looking at like a blank wall with no signage, nothing. I was pissed. Anyways, after I'm panicking because I can't find my actual plastic driver's license and all I had was the paper one, and the guy was like, that's not going to be good enough. And I was like, bitch, I literally came through here. That guy right here with the glasses is the one that just swabbed me for explosives. And I waved at him and I was like, you remember me, right? And he came over and he's like, yeah, I just saw you. Did you get stuck back in the line? I was like, fucking yes, you know? And I was trying to be really, really nice. I didn't swear at anybody.
Uh-huh.
I should have, but I didn't. They eventually found my ID and gave it back to me, but I still had to go back through security. They didn't swab my hands again, though, fortunately, because that would have been fucking stupid.
Oh, good. Yeah.
But, like,
that's usually random.
I don't know. I don't know why they did it to me. Maybe they looked at me and thought, she seems nice. She won't yell at us. Or something. I don't know.
And then all of a sudden you test positive for explosives.
And then, yeah, they're like, oh,
because
fuck.
the ones who look nice are always the ones that aren't.
What is this bitch doing, right? And then I asked the lady who was like the head, like, because when you get pulled out of line, if you're a woman, they give you a woman TSA agent to like pat you down.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. I was like, I thank you for keeping us safe. I was really nice to her. And when I saw her again, she said, I was like, what would have given it like a false positive like that? And she's like, it could be anything. And I was like, then why are you even doing this test? Like, what's the point then? What?
The first time I got swabbed, they pulled me into a little glass booth. It was 4 a.m. and we were on our way to Amsterdam,
Christ.
and I was high. And I
good.
was like, what are you swabbing me for? And she was like, oh, drugs, explosives, everything. And I was like, oh, nice, because I literally just smoked pot. And she swabbed my hands and it was nothing. But that happened to me once with Orion when we were the kids were going to, why was I just with Orion? Was it just him going? But they had just put in a new coffee shop, and we went through TSA, and we were headed to our gate, and I saw the coffee shop, and I was like, oh, I want to get a cup of coffee. And we walked down a hallway and into the coffee shop. It was a glass. It's still there. It's just called something different now. It was all glass, and didn't see the TSA agents sitting at the table. They were reading a book, so they didn't see me. There was no sign. And I come back out to go that way, and she was like, you can't come here. And I was like, what do you mean? I just walked right past you. And she was like, you got to go back through security. Orion was pissed.
That's so bullshit because it's the lines are already long at security. Why would you not do everything possible to mitigate that? Like,
well, I can see the reasoning in it is that, you know, I could have walked into that coffee shop and had something stashed there because that's outside of TSA. So I could have had something stashed there and gone through there, grabbed my something and come back through.
But why would you design the airport in such a way that that is even possible? That's my
It was
problem.
in the middle of a remodel. I don't know about DC's thing, but we were in the middle
Nashville
of a remodel.
Airport has been in the middle of a remodel since I've lived here, so.
Well, but the area now that you go through to get out of TSA is obvious. It's got the swinging, the
it's
doors.
like
it's obvious.
You can't, like, it's
it
very
used
clear.
to not be that way.
Yeah.
It used to be just
I love
an
BNA.
open hallway with one person who sat at a table and read a book.
Yeah.
So they weren't even paying attention. Because I have been stopped before at other airports where they're like, you know, you can't go back.
Well, there should have been,
There should have been a sign.
There should have been a fucking sign. There should have been someone standing there to tell me before I walked past them.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Anyway.
Also, fuck DC.
Also, fuck DC. Also, fuck Reagan, who the airport's named after. No wonder it's a piece of shit. Anyways. Tangent over. Yay.
All right.
Let's do a podcast now.
Yeah, you want to? You want to do a podcast?
Yeah, I think I would like to do a podcast today. So listeners, bet you didn't know we were so into wrestling. I just, like, when I had the perspective of, like, they're not trying to fool you into thinking that it's real. Like, it's all kind of campy.
Well, they used to.
And they used to, but now they're sort of like, let's just lean into it. You know, let it be what it is, because it really is impressive.
Well, that's what I wanted to.
The amount of work that goes into it.
I wanted to comment on what you said about them being actors. They're athletes first. That's why their acting sucks.
Sometimes their acting sucks.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Sometimes
But sometimes you get lucky. Like And sometimes you have an actor who can be athletic, but when you have to first be athletic, the acting is secondary. And so you have to make it kind of funny.
Yeah, and that's why some are, actually, is it Logan Paul or Jake Paul?
I think it's Jake.
Jake Paul.
And Jodie's like, and it sucks because he's actually good. Like, he actually doesn't suck at it.
Jake Paul is a good wrestler, and he's a really good heel because people already hate his ass, And so he, honestly, good for him. Like, you love to hate him. He is a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And he's good at acting like a piece of shit because I think he kind of is a piece of shit.
Well,
but like,
when
whatever.
You know where your talents lie.
That's the thing. Yeah. I'd rather him
them.
do that than, but whatever. I don't know if he's the best role model, but he's not supposed to be. He's a heel,
But also, I don't really think that anybody should be. It's kind of like, I think it was Britney Spears that said to somebody once, she was like, well, I'm not trying to be your kid's role model. I'm just trying to be a singer. I'm just trying to be a performer.
God.
I'm not trying
We need to do a whole episode on Britney someday.
Is she on my list? I think she should, because I put some female singers on icebreakers, but I feel like I just keep adding too many of them. Like, so maybe we could do a whole episode on Britney Spears.
Yeah. I have a complicated relationship. I have a complicated parasocial relationship with Britney Spears.
She is on icebreakers.
Yeah.
NASCAR announcers are
NASCAR.
funny as shit. They used to be even funnier because they're Southern fucks who don't they just, you know what I mean? And when you're listening to NASCAR and football, just listening, it's funny.
Yeah.
Because
we will watch sports now on mute and listen to music because it just drives me the football announcers, the basketball announcers. It drives me crazy. I can tell what's going on by looking at a basketball
Jody's
game.
not going to watch a basketball game.
I don't need somebody to tell me. Oh, Sean's a basketball person. We're watching the NBA finals are on now, guys. Where I gotta at least acknowledge that.
Yeah, no. Jody would go to my little brother's games if they were close by or whatever. But as far as watching basketball on TV, basketball, soccer, all that stuff, he only watches football, NASCAR, and wrestling.
Yeah. All right.
And bad B-rated movies with gratuitous 80s titties in them.
Hell yeah. All right, friends, that about does it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, great, because we're going to keep doing it. The next Tangents episode will be available on our Patreon, which doesn't exist yet. But if you like this, let us know, and you can join us there when we get that started. We'll put it at the cheapest tier, whatever that is, just so that we can have a little something. Maybe it'll eventually offset the costs of running Buzzsprout. So, yay! If you want to get in touch with us, you can do that by emailing us at contact@toxicwasteoftime.com. You can also message us on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Reddit, Toxic Waste of Time. And if you want to leave us a review or a comment wherever you are listening to your podcast, we would love that so much. Thank you so much for listening. Next week, we'll be back with fairy tales. Ivy did a bunch of research about fairy tales and some of the toxic traits involved there. So look forward to that. We will see you then. Have a good week. Hey listeners, thanks for hanging out with us on our podcast, formerly known as Bad Boss Detox. We are now known as Toxic Waste of Time after Ivy and I transitioned fully out of our toxic work and we detoxed from that. So we moved on. If you would like to send us a message nowadays, you can do that by emailing us at contact@toxicwasteoftime.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Reddit as Toxic Waste of Time. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.